All right, let me share my screen. All right, let's begin. Did you guys want to go over anything? I'd rather keep your pull requests all in GitHub and discuss it through there, unless there's anything you want to discuss in particular. We can look over it quickly, but up to you. I'd rather like leave comments and go with the back and forth through to at least encourage you guys to use that instead of relying on WebEx or Teams, because in the real world you're just gonna communicate that way. And um, let's see.
Are you gonna go over the homework?
Yeah, we can go over the homework. So did you get far in it, file, or did you
The file one I finished, but I got like 80% through on the other one. It's kind of difficult.
That's fine.
I had to have my friend like teach me a little bit.
Yeah, no, a lot of it was my fault. Like, I just didn't write it up correctly. But you'll see that happens a lot too. Like, no one's really professional. There's always gonna be mistakes in stories, but it's up to you guys to call it out ASAP. All right, hang on. Did you put up a pull request or? Yeah, wait,
I think it went through. I'm not sure.
I don't think it did. I see Ish's, which he opened a few seconds ago. Berm opened his 3 hours ago. You didn't open yours, so you wanna try it?
Wait, so do it again?
I don't see anything that you did.
Oh, okay. Let me just screen
Yeah,
share
yeah.
my
Screen
thing.
screen share so we can all see if there's any mistakes or anything. Let me just
Alright.
yeah, go ahead.
Can you guys see?
Yeah.
Alright. I want to make sure it's saved. Alright. Yeah, I think I got confused. Like I pushed it originally to the file homework 3 one,
Uh-huh.
but then I made a separate branch. But I don't know if I did that correctly. Should I just go back to homework 3?
Let me actually go to GitHub, and first of all, see if you push the right branch, it's gonna be there. So maybe you just didn't do it at the right branch. So go to GitHub and let's see the branch you pushed.
Okay.
Yeah, click that. You see whatever you pushed. I see it. File homework 3, right? So you pushed both
Oh,
of them. Say again?
like right here. Is this it?
Yeah, look, you see it right there. It says committed 2 hours ago. That means it's really
Yeah.
recent. And remember, the bin folder is short for binary, so that contains class files you're not interested in looking. So, run through it and make sure your logic is there so we could review it.
Wait, I open it?
Not binary, right? Because binary contains what?
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah, I just gotta remember that.
yeah. This is it.
All right. Yeah, I don't have a chance to look at it. Oh, well, first put up the
How do
pull.
I know if the pull request worked?
You see that pull request tab right there, right? If you click that, you'll see everybody's. You see Ish's that he pushed a few minutes ago, or yeah, a few minutes ago. Berms that
This
he
says
pushed.
7 days ago.
Yeah, well, okay. Looking back at your logic, was that the recent one, or maybe you just called the same pull request? You just labeled it the same thing, you know? That's
Oh,
not, yeah,
okay.
that's why I want you to guys to label your pull request respective of the story you pushed, right? So it's easier to see what it is you worked on.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll go over that same thing Burr mentioned before, like how do you set the difference up. We'll do a live example after this, but yeah, let's do the pull request. You do it, and I'll pitch in, or anyone feel free to
Just
pitch in after you go through it. Yeah, go ahead.
hold on.
So you probably merge it into another branch, maybe.
Do I do this or this? This one has my thing. I don't think this one has anything.
What'd you put in that one?
Let me see. I don't think there's anything in that one.
Oh, you know what it is? When it says zero commits to compare, that means the fa branch and the other one you just tabbed over from that contains the same exact code. So you probably pushed the fa branch.
Okay.
Um, yeah. So okay, this is your pull request, but you still didn't file it. So if you're good with whatever you have here, just
Wait, so what do I do now?
where is it? Where is the well? Type click on view pull request. All right, go down. I think you could just close it. Wait, anyone pitch in? Something doesn't feel right. It's closed, right? You click close.
It says 7 days ago. That's why I said I think I created this branch like during class or something
That doesn't
last
matter
time.
though.
I don't think you pushed it.
Yeah, I think we're looking right now at a yeah, we're looking at a one you already put up 7 days ago. So
But it has my most recent code. It has the homework in it.
let me
Where is
see.
it? Like this one, get max, get min, get area.
The fact that it's highlighted means that's all new
Yeah,
stuff.
that's all new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do I?
So that means we pushed it. Well, that means you. What does that mean? That means he sent in the pull request, right?
But he said he did it 7 days ago. This is weird. Hang on. All right, let's try it again. It says able to merge, but I don't see anything that
What if I
says.
just close it and do it again?
Let me see. Yeah, you could try to push a separate. Or try clicking close pull request. See what happens.
What do I write here? Just like
No, you don't need to put anything. No,
okay.
that'll just reopen it. Go up for a second.
Okay.
Click on the pull request tabs again. Tabs. Yeah, tab. All right. All right. If you have the work at local, that all you have to do is just create a new branch off it and then push it as something else. Like, um, try and just put today's date, like August 3rd. We'll know it's
Wait,
yours.
like you're talking about like on here?
Yeah.
Wait, so what do I do? Like, wait,
So let's see what it's
what
named
branch am I
first,
even
right?
on?
Let's see. So you're on fa story 1 and 2. So now open up Eclipse and make sure that logic is yours, the whatever you did most recently.
Yeah.
Is it? You click
Yeah.
save, refreshed everything.
Yeah, I already did that.
Okay. Now what you could just do is get branch and type a different branch name because we already pushed story 1 and 2.
Get branch.
Let's say og 3.
Og 3. Like that?
No, do it together. Remember,
Oh.
you gotta use keyboard to get to that. So keyboard arrows. Yeah,
Okay.
terminal doesn't recognize it.
So should I put like a dash?
You don't even need find it because we'll know you're the one who pushed it. So just type in
Okay.
og3. Yeah. All right. Get branch og3. Get the status of that. Get the branch of that. So you haven't checked it out yet. So check it out.
And then og3.
All right.
And then get.
All right. That looks good. Now just push it.
Okay, so do I have to commit first or go straight to push?
It should be the same code, right?
What do you mean?
I mean, you didn't change the code. You just moved it to a different branch.
Oh, okay, so
you're
I could just push.
Yeah.
Origin og3.
All right. That's good. Now let's go back to GitHub.
Where is it? Where do I go? Like here or? Oops.
Go to Java review and just go through the pull request process. Well, first, yeah, let's see og3 is there. All right. Okay, it's there.
Okay, and then I just go to pull request.
No, there's a I mean, yeah, you can do that. All right.
Put this og3.
All right, there you go.
And then I just write added story 1 and 2.
Well, yeah, you can do that. But we'll just have to get more descriptive along the way. That's why I said you guys had to keep track of your story numbers. But yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
All right, go ahead and create it. All right, it's created.
Okay.
Okay. Now you want to
Unshare it.
Yeah. Wait, what'd you ask?
No, do I unshare my screen?
Oh, yeah. So yeah, that's fine. We can look at it from mine. All right. You see my screen, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's see. So, all right, so this is your work. You took out, and I'm just going over it just so you guys could get used to the interface. So, I look at files commit, I go to files changed because that'll tell me down to even, you see right here it says binary file not shown, hello world.class. Like that just should reinforce the point that this is not something we want to look at because it's not something we want to touch, right? It's the Java class. I mean, it's the Java file that contains the actual logic, right? This is all computer code. So let's look. All right, so which part of it did you want to go over?
The second homework with the one with the area. I got confused at the end.
That's fine.
Wasn't sure like how to get a square or something, and then I just like ended it with like if the min and max area is smaller than the number in the main method.
Yeah.
But
you see why I wanted you guys to have a utils class, right? Because you didn't add a utils class. All this is in Hello World. So now I'm not really so you have get min and get max and this for everyone, right? So you see why I'd at least want to start using classes because right now I'm seeing get max, get min, where I'm expecting like, the Hello World class to have your, just to be able to, quickly run down and based on the problem set, like, let me see, square of max and min. I just want to copy paste that, put it in the main method and run and see my results ideally, right? You did it here, but that's why you want the utility methods in another, just to keep it clean, first of all, right? So,
wait,
all right.
What's wrong with mine?
You see, you did it all into this Hello World class, right? This Java file.
Oh, I should stop using the Hello World.
No. Keep using it. Maybe we should even name it something else. But it's like a jumping off point where it contains your main method, right? And the actual execution happens in there. Like, we'll go over it in a bit.
So you want me to use a separate class?
Yeah, to at least store these get min, get area to like drive the point that you're gonna use these methods, but they're not the they're not the actual function that I want executed, right? Just to keep it very clean. Yeah. But
okay.
That's fine. Like it'll still work. It's just something you got to get in the habit of doing.
Wait.
What was that?
No, I wasn't asking anything.
Okay. All right. Let's go into it. So, which part of it? I didn't have the chance to go over your code yet. So.
I did the get min part. I got the get max and I get area, but then like the square max and min. I wasn't sure what you're asking.
Yeah, no, that's
so
fine. I should have
ended up doing like if it's like less than the number that I put in the main method, it prints the area. If it's too high, then I say it's area too large. But I wasn't sure like if you want to remove min and max or just max or like.
Right. I got you. So basically, right. Let me move it over.
I didn't get to use the remove.
No, I know. I see it here. You didn't get to use it. That's fine. I should have been more, clear about it. But let me show you what I meant. You got this part right? You take one list, you get a number. So let me demonstrate it. I don't know, Berm, do you want to take over? So you could.
Yeah, you want to see my code?
I think it's better. No, it might be a little too much to go over it from step by step, but yeah, we could look at your code, and we could see if you could kind of, because Berm did it right, not exactly the spec as I wanted.
I looked at issues, and it's definitely different than mine.
Yeah, no, there's always going to be like a million ways to do it. That's not important. But as long as you get it, there's going to be better ways to do it, obviously. But let's look.
Are you talking about the get max one or the vowels one?
Get max and get min.
Okay.
So this is just to demonstrate what I wanted, right? So let me see. All right. So So you see how Berm had a hello. Well, did you have a utils class? I forgot. Yeah, Berm had a utils class, right? And ideally, this is something. This is like what I wanted. I said it kind of in the video, and like in the video, I put the method signatures out: get max, get min, and get area. And I said you'll be using that. But you see how it's already like a little more clear, right? You could kind of visualize how you could use get max for anything, right? If you have a list of integers, you throw it in, or a list of strings. Like he kind of made it a little specific here. That's fine. But at any point, he could use that in here, like any problem set he wants, right? It doesn't matter which problem. He has a surefire area, a few surefire methods to use. So going
So
back,
should I make a utils class?
yeah, and like
Okay.
yeah, like I mean, ultimately it's up to you, right? And if the code still works, technically it still works, right? But I'm saying for your own
Mm-hmm.
sake, it's usually better to, and better for your peers to have like a pattern to it, right? So they know it's more easier to connect dots. That's it.
Yeah.
So let me show you what he did, and I'll show you what exactly I wanted. Let me see. Square of max and min. So he did the same thing as you did from the start, right? He used utils, so he's referring to that class, right? And he always has that method, utils.getMax, max, list of integers. You know what? Just go through it really quick. Go down the code and you kind of tell me what you think he's doing, because this first two lines at least, you guys did the same exact thing, and then read it and tell me if you have an idea of what he was trying to go for.
All right. So you want me to read it like now?
Yeah, and just use natural language. Tell me what do you
So
think he's doing.
in the square of max and min method, he has the parameters int x and then like a list for integers. And then for the int max, he called the get max function from his utils class.
Yeah, right. So whatever he feeds it, right? So in here you can see he has a list of 199, 22, right? So he's gonna feed that. He doesn't have he has it right here. So this, I think you guys are like, we're supposed to go, underneath it. If it goes above, well, you'll see. And he feeds the list in here, right? So keep going. Where is it? Right here. Yep.
Yeah, so he got the min and the max, and then he did a while loop,
Mm-hmm.
and he was multiplying the max and the min
Yeah.
for the area, and the area was supposed to be, so for while the area is greater than or equal to x, inside equals. So he put the length of the list into int size.
Well, let's stop here for a second. He didn't meet spec here. How did he not meet spec?
Wait, meet what?
Meet spec, like meet my requirements, and you guys could pitch in for this one.
What do you mean by that?
You know how I wanted in the utils class we had a few methods, right? And I said whenever you see a use case, instead of doing the calculation yourself, right? Like for instance, length times width. I don't want to see that in the code, right? I want you to use the method signature and use it in the actual class. So going back.
Oh, okay. So you wanted to use get area there.
Yeah, right here you could use get area.
Yeah, get area.
Right? And
Okay.
if it was,
So get area greater than or equal to x. So then he would store the length of. I'm a little confused here. Hold on.
Just look over. Don't do it one by one. Look over it and see if you could distill it. And you don't need to do it one by one. And you could just stay quiet and like look over it for a brief second.
Yeah. Oh, okay, I get it. Okay, so while area is greater than or equal to x, he puts the he puts it into the size, and then he removes it.
Yeah.
And he does remove size minus 1.
Because why?
Because it's larger than x, which is the number 5 or something.
So what I did first is I ordered the array from smallest to largest. So if you looked in the utils class, my get max and get min methods orders the array from smallest to largest. That's something I saw Ish didn't do.
You didn't
So he
need to
did
do
differently.
that. You didn't need to do that. I forgot to mention that too, and I don't blame Fab for not seeing that because I also just noticed that. So basically, what happens, right? Um, I think Ish, what did you do? You ran through a well, what did you do?
So, but that was because it's the for loop, which got the max and the min. But I thought we weren't supposed to use a for loop.
You could use while. That's what I meant, but
Yeah, I kind of forgot that we weren't supposed to use for, so I just used a for loop for get min and get max.
Right.
I was thinking about sort, but I thought maybe you didn't want us to do it like that and to just iterate through it. Because you said
yeah. I did want the iteration because I said use the while loop. Like what I kind of wanted Berm to do, well, what I wanted you guys to do, is for instance, you could use while list of integers dot size is greater than 0, right? Because that means there's still and I also wanted you guys to do a check that it was even, right? So you're always taking out 2 at a time, so it'll always go to 0. But if it was not even, there's always going to be 1 remaining, right? If you like, so for instance, if you had like a size of 5 and you keep taking out 2 at a time, eventually it's just going to have 1 left. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're always, for every iteration, you're removing 2 values, right? The min and max. But you can't do that if you have 1 remaining, because that's both the min and max. But let me not veer off the point. So basically, what he was doing right here was, what did he do? So he took the list of integers, right?
Mhm.
And the get max function, he took the list of integers, he ordered it. So his what was it? Your get max and get min. So for both, he sorted. So imagine if
Sort function does it like by itself. Like you don't have to tell
yeah,
it like
you don't
how
even
to
have
do
to
it.
you don't even have to touch it because it's all pre-programmed, right? It exists within the list method. You
Or
could
does
do
it
it.
do it less like greatest to least, or does it do it like
Pretty sure
well,
it's low to high,
These
right?
grades.
Yeah. I didn't necessarily want it, but this is fine. Like in the real, for me, I'm saying the approach you should go for is whatever you do in the real world. And if this is what works for you, you could even use this in lead code. They're not going to stop you. Like if you had a lead code problem, it doesn't matter. Because this is like a very low level, algorithm, so it doesn't really matter. So yeah, he sorted it, and just to explain what he did, he sorted it. So this has the max value because first imagine he got a list, right? 4, 5, 1, 2. That's not sorted, right? Let me make it easy.
yeah. So what he did was after he sorted,
Yeah.
he removed the min and the max. He removed the 0. The 0 is obviously the first number on the list.
Yeah.
Sorted.
Yeah.
And he did size minus 1. The size is gonna be like 4 or something, and then to get the max number, it would be like size minus 1, so it'd be the third, because it starts at 0.
Right. And get min will always be 0, right? No matter the list, because that's always in the left, right? Even if you got a list of 8, a list of 5, and since he already sorted it, the lowest number is going to be what? Always at 0, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, so keep going. You'll pretty much have it.
So then, he whatever's like left, he puts the new max into the max integer and the new min into the min integer. And it keeps looping till the while parameter isn't true anymore.
Yeah.
So then at that point, the area. And then it gets the area of the new min and the max,
I think you're missing a step here, Berm, because this is outside the while loop, right? And I said to keep removing it until, for instance, no, never mind, you got it right. Because you see this max value right here, he's overriding this max value in the outside, right? So for instance, no, this is right, because he gets the max value that stays here, that the min stays here, right? And for every min, is it saying, yo, is it greater than equal to x, right? Which is here, right? And if not, he's just gonna keep iterating over it, and then in the final iteration, he just feeds it over here. I know it's a lot, but that's the point. Like, I know it's kind of hard to wrap your head around at first, but you just kind of look at the code, and I'll give you a more optimized solution. But it's something you just kind of stare at, and then eventually you get. You never get it through an explanation, but you do it like how you're doing it right now, like kind of explaining it to yourself. But does that kind of clarify it a bit?
Yeah, I don't know there's like a sort function either. So like,
you don't need to do the sort
Kinda just
function
like-
either if you didn't want. Like, look, let me show you what I mean.
like
All right, so this is a completely. Let me go back to. All right. So, do you remember this? We did this before. Hang on. Let's say get min. So let's say both of them take list of integers. And let's have a list of integers. One, 5.
So you see that first line you wrote, list integers equals new array list?
Yeah.
Why do you need that? Because I didn't put that.
What did you put?
That still worked. I mean, at least not in my utils class.
No, you have it. You're just so you don't need it because you're just referencing something it's going to use. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Oh, I have it in the main.
yeah,
method.
like you referenced it here. This is still, it's saying this is pointing to a list that's could be populated outside of it, right? So you do the actual population here. You create the actual list here. But in order for this method to expect it, right? For it to use it in the future, you need to tell it the method like what should it expect, right? Because otherwise, what are you telling it to sort? You could have passed a string here, right? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I mean, it says you're passing a list.
Yeah.
So why do you need that new, like, where's on the main method where you put
Let me see.
list integer equals new array list?
Yeah.
What does that do?
So that creates a new instance of it. That's a good question. So how would you tell? All right, that was a good question.
Like, what would happen if I don't have that? I
I
can't
got
make a
you.
list.
So let's assume this is your function, the exact one you just put up, get min or max, and let's leave that blank for now. And don't mind the red because I don't have anything defined, so obviously it's gonna show red. All right, so let's assume this is the function, right? And let's even label it out like you had it. Private static void get min or max accepts a list of integers, right? And that's how you had it. right? Let me see. List of integers. Let's put it out exactly how you have it, right? And then, you know, you have your body, right? And then you're trying to run this. Now, how is this supposed to know which list you're referring to? This or this? How do you specify it?
Doesn't it have to? Well, you'd put it in, right? Get in the parentheses of get min or max. You'd put in which list.
Right.
So list of
But
integers 2. And
you said it
list of
right there.
integers
How,
4.
how is this going to know which list, right? I'm putting new array list because this is two different types of lists. One has 155, one has 500, 544, 522, right?
Okay.
Right. You got it?
I got it. So,
Yeah, yeah.
okay.
So it could be either be this if I wanted to sort this and do your function on it, or I could have wanted this. So I created two different, they call it instances. You know, that's an actual definition. Two instances of the same data structure, and this is a list, right? So just something to keep in mind. That's a good question because that actually does, you know, that does screw with people.
Yeah, I've seen it in a lot of code. I didn't really understand what it was for, but
Yeah.
okay, I get it now.
Yeah. So that's why you always specify it here, even though I get what you're saying. Like, hey, why do I not do it here? Like, yeah, let's actually tackle that. Right, you can do it that way, right? But no, that let's actually keep going. So, what do you think is gonna happen? Ish, I want you to answer this actually, and you guys can think about it too. Let's do this. So let's say I had this function right here, right? And all I did was this right here, right in the method body, right? Let's say here. Let's get it to the point of running actually. So again, this is list 1, this is list 2. So I'm feeding list 2 into this function we created. And let's ignore the get min or max, and let's say this function, let's say get first number of the list, right? Everything is solid, there's no errors. So, well, first, if I wanted to get the first number of a list, what do I do? Let's say I wanted to print the first number of the list. Anyone?
What's the first number? There's two lists though. Or you just passing in two?
Print list of integers dot get 0.
Yeah, nothing crazy. All right, so everything is good. There's no red, right? Now, if I were to run this, look at it carefully and tell me what would print out.
You can print out 5, right? Since
Look, keep looking at it. Ish,
Well,
if you feel like you have the right answer, just stay quiet for a bit and let them have a go at it.
first so just 2. Yeah, I would think you put out 5.
Okay, so
Since
Berm says 5. Fa, what do you think?
I think it's for 412,341.
Right. Okay, and Ish, what do you think?
I also think it's the 412,000 number.
All right, so let's just run it. All right, so why is it that, Berm? What do you think?
I mean, I thought you're putting in the list of integers 2 into the function, into the method.
I am, but follow the logic train. After this gets passed in, just follow the code and see what happens, and try to deduce what you think happened.
I guess those get replaced.
It gets replaced. Yeah, that's a good way of thinking at it, right? So this is like anytime you create a new array list block, right? that occupies a separate set of memories, right? Like that's what RAM is for. Like you create a new kind of block of memory that contains these numbers, right? And RAM could be used for everything. That's how memory works, right? But soon as even if you pass this in, anything could happen in the method, right? Just because I'm passing it in, I could just leave this in the dust. I could never use this if I don't want to use it, right? So what happens right here is basically if you use the same variable to you use that as a pointer to anything, right? And as soon as you say new array list, this is a separate array list from this, right? These are in two separate blocks. And as soon as you create a new array list, that's a separate block, not pointing to the right one, right? So this creates a completely new one, and it starts adding it to that, right? Yeah. So, but this still exists. It's just you can't point to it anymore because random access memory, hence random, right? It's somewhere in the memory. You just can't refer to it anymore because you lost it here, right? Does that make sense?
Okay, it makes sense.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, that's why you want to be really careful. Like right here, you see you did it right because you're saying like, hey, whoever creates the list of integers outside, let them, if they want to use my function, let them be able to pass it so I can do whatever I want to their list, right? You're not making any assumptions to their list. You're saying, hey, pass a list in and let me do this function in it, right? But you're not trying to create your own list because this is what you'd be doing here. That's why that's important. So, yeah, it's a tricky concept, but I'm glad you brought it up. All right, where were we? So, get min is no different. Well, I kind of want you guys to think. So we actually did do this method before. So forget all the list stuff, right? So fill it out if you remember it.
What are we doing?
So I'm just trying to get the get min how you regularly remember it. So instead of doing all this list of integers that sort or anything, right? You use the sort method, but I was actually didn't want you to use it. So I guess my question is, give me an alternate.
Do it with a while loop because you said not to use a for loop.
You're right. Fair enough.
And I didn't think you could do it with a while loop.
Anyone want to take a shot?
Oh wait, what are we supposed to? Are we supposed to tell you what to do?
Yeah. Or ish, if you remember.
Well, I used the while loop for my get min and max. Should I just say what I did?
Well, yeah, if you want.
So like before I did the while loop, I created some integers to like work with.
Okay.
I created an integer I for the while loop. It'll be like the counter or something.
Right.
And then I made another integer for a current number, meaning the current number it's on. And then I made another integer for largest number for me. Oh, this is for get max, by the way, not for get min. But same thing for get min. I had an integer for smallest number for me to like put the number into that.
Right.
That
Actually, for this, before you continue, let me push it because I don't actually. It's already 8:12. I don't wanna override the lecture with this. Already 30 minutes in.
Oh, okay.
But no, it's fine. I'm glad you were getting into it. But let me push the solution, and I'll have you guys look at the alternate later.
Okay.
But did you have like any other questions to anything else or the vowels? How did the vowels?
No, but I think I'm gonna like. I'm gonna like brush up on the basics for Java because I'm like kind of having trouble
No, that's fine.
keeping up.
Yeah, just ping the Teams chat more often because it could help everyone.
Yeah, but I think I have to like kind of start from the beginning.
Okay.
And
What do you mean by beginning?
Yeah, I feel like I didn't take that week to.
I remember seeing these stuff before, but like I completely forgot what they do and how they're supposed to be used.
No, that's fine.
So I
No,
kind
no,
of need like
no.
a.
That's why after today, I'm just gonna introduce a few more data structures, right? And I'm just gonna have the only way to really cement this into your head is just to do more problems. And you're gonna forget it.
Yeah.
Everyone forgets it. I
Mhm.
still forget the methods, right? All right. So instead of kind of delving in it, let's move forward. So
Mhm.
so for the next 2 days, you guys, okay, so this is what you guys went over so far, just to give you a quick memory refresh. Let me take this out. Let me take this all out. All right, so starting from scratch. So this is all you guys went over so far. Like consider these your ABCs. We went over the list methods. All these should look familiar, right? Get, add, size, remove. The string methods. A few of them you don't even need, so I'm just gonna take them out. Concat. I'll just leave it there. Index of, that was to get the first vowel. So this is what we went through before, and for the next, say again?
I don't think I used index of for my homework.
Let me see what you did, because you needed that to
Yeah.
get the
My
vowel.
my answer for the second one was very simple, and yet I didn't use any of that stuff. I still got the right answer though. So
Let me see. I didn't get to check your pull requests, so let me see what you did though first. How did you get the first letter then? Oh, you used character at, right? Not
I
index
used,
of. You used character at.
but you're asking me?
I'm asking both of you. Let me try to go to your pull request.
Yeah, I used a for loop, and basically I ran it through the for loop, and based on like
Yeah, right here. You see, Berm used character at, so you don't need to. You actually didn't need to use what did I say? Index of.
index of.
Yeah, you don't need
Yeah,
it.
I did it like that. Or is that mine? No, that's not
This
mine.
is Berm's.
Yeah, I did it like that.
But you use the same thing, right? Character at.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the actual methods aren't important. There's always gonna be libraries of methods. If you know a few of them, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine.
Oh, it's like the same thing, similar.
Let me see. Index of. So for instance, well, let me show you. It's better just to show you. So.
Because I use what you suggested on the homework. Like I don't think you put index of. So like.
No, I don't think I did. Let me see.
Kind of
I probably looked
stuff.
at it and I said, so this is the vowel question, right? Look up, yeah, to string, concat. Yeah, I put character at. Yeah, I didn't say index of, but that was just one of the methods. I guess I didn't show you, but it's very simple. Like they're all very simple. That's the beauty of it. So let me show you what happens, and you'll see what I mean. Well, let me see if you guys can deduce it, right? So just look at it. So you see this method index of right here, right? And it says you pass in an integer, right? CH is just what they're saying is the integer will refer to. And then it spits out a string, right? So let's say I did what do you think will spit out?
F.
Let's see. No, never mind. I had a completely different. That's fine, but that's not the point. But it is context sensitive. Like I'm pretty sure there is a way to get that F. I think it's actually. Let me see. I think it's this. No, never mind. That's not important though. Let me not veer off. So let me replace index of with char at. That's what I meant. But there is a way. I just don't remember. But like you guys see, it's not really the things that are important. I think that's kind of bothering me. Character, not to string. No, never mind. But again, that's not the point. So okay, so carat. Did you guys use concat? That's just when you're combining two strings. Like, so if I had a string 1 is fa, string 2 is berm. What would print out?
Fa and berm or fa berm.
Yeah, just a.
Like I didn't see a need to use that.
Yeah, that's why I have to like. Let me see. What did you print out? So how did you combine the two letters? I'm sure there's a way. There's always a way. But how did you end up combining the two letters? Do you remember?
I just system.print.ln. Oh, I didn't even use ln. I just used system.print.out.
Oh, that's
well,
right.
If you go back
So
to my code,
it would print consecutive. I get what you're saying. Yeah. There's different ways, but just pick and choose how you want it. Ideally, what I wanted was, so for instance, I mean, as the point of reference, let's say concatenated string. The point is like, it's just another function for your utility. So for instance, if I did this. If I did this would print nothing, right? It's an empty string. But if I just concatenated that with string 1, that's just gonna add, fa to it. So, just little things. Yeah, you don't need it because there's always a different way to do it. But ultimately, I just want, to get your guys' repertoire up, anytime you might need it. So the point is, you don't need much. Like, so you guys have the list methods. You have the string methods that I guess, I'll keep it. The point is, after the next two lessons, what I want is just to go over these, which, it looks like a lot, and I know you guys already went over it, but you'll see the functions are actually very simple. But the point is, this is all you need. Like, if you kind of understand how to use each of these, you could pretty much tackle 99% of all the lead code questions. You don't need much for lead code, and that's what you guys hear us in chat talk about here and there. But the idea is like, as soon as you cover them a bit, it'll feel like just stringing together sentences, and you could imagine it in your head like the logic, and you could quickly type it out. And that's what I kind of want you to kind of practice, because more of these automation interviews are actually asking for lead code questions, not the most difficult ones, but it's always good to approach the technical interviews with like solid foundations. You'll be confident. You won't have to worry too much about the technical rounds, right? But let's go over them and I'll show you what I mean. So I'll keep this in the side just to kind of always have you guys' memories refreshed, right? So give me a second. All right, and I'll show you what I mean by how simple this is. All right, I'd rather people like you guys tell me what to do. So I just want to create a list of integers. How do I do it? I just shout it out.
List dot add. No.
Yeah, that's it. So I'll just create a few. I'll just create a few random numbers. Right. And just really quickly, I'm gonna go over what this hash set does. It's really simple. So, Berm, do you remember what the point of a set is in math or anything? Like, if I were to add a list of numbers in a set, what would be in that set? Like,
I don't think I learned this.
that's fine. I didn't say it clearly. So let's say if I were to take this list, and a set is just another different form of a list, right? So if I were to do this,
Basically the same thing as a list, as an array.
so it's very similar, right? With one minor difference. Let's say I would do, so this is a set, right? I create a new set just like I would create in a list. array list. Let's say I did this. What do you think will get printed? Anyone could shout this out.
3.
Why is it 2?
Starts at 0.
What is what? Say that again.
Starts at 0.
No. It's just the same elements. It counted up the elements and it decided the length was 2 or the size was 2. Why do you think that is? What's the main difference from? Oh, let's take this out. What's the main difference from this and this?
Can I answer?
Yeah, sure.
Oh,
Hash map or hash set is different because it stores things. I think it's been a while, but I think it stores things based on keys. So it's like
You're thinking of hash map.
What?
You're thinking of hash map, but go ahead.
Oh, okay. So, well, even if it's wrong, like, I guess I'll finish.
Yeah, go ahead.
So it'll see that there's no slot for 2, right? The number 2. So it'll add 2, and then it'll add 3, and add a new slot for 3, and then for the second 3, it would just on the existing slot that you created for the first 3, it would just attach it so that, like,
Now you're thinking of I know what you're thinking of. That is like the kind of inner mechanisms of what's working. But you don't even need to know all that. I'm not even asking for all that.
does it just show you what all the different numbers?
Yeah, it just does it. It just roots out duplicates. That's it. 2 and 3 it counted. It didn't count that other 3 because it's already there. You don't need to new. So it's just describing like the behind the scenes work, but none of that is important. Like that's for computer science. This is not computer science. It's not that important, right? It's just this holds duplicates. I mean, this holds duplicates. It holds anything. This, it takes out duplicates. That's literally it. There's no other difference. You think it's like such a small detail and it doesn't matter, but so something as simple like that would convert like 20 lines of code into like 5. Like that's how much of a major difference it is. And let me just go over quickly of the other kind of things it has, other methods. So right here, let me see. Okay. Say I were to do this, right? And same function, what would happen? Well, what would this print, simply put?
Set remove 3. It would remove.
I have no idea what's going on with this.
I think it would.
No, it's fine. I got you, fine. Don't worry.
I don't think it was. So there is no third.
I think it'll just be 1, like after you remove 3.
Yeah, right. Because all this is doing is imagine a list of. And I got you, Fi. Don't worry. So it's just file. The only thing that's going on right now is just you're kind of diversifying your tool set. So just think of it like this, if it makes sense. Right now I have 2, 3, 3. It's just imagine a list. Same exact way you think of it as a list. You'd imagine a set. It's just the only difference with this is anytime you're adding numbers to it, if it tracks a duplicate, it just doesn't count it. So you could add all the 3s you want in the world. It's just for its own reasons, right? It's just not gonna count all these 3s. It just ignores it, right? And you'll forever right here. You only have a size of 2. You got it? So
Okay.
yeah. Don't overthink it. It's just small little introductions of little variations. This is just a different variation of a list, technically, right? It's just saying that you could keep adding, just like you could keep adding to that list. The only difference is you could add all you want, but since it's a duplicate, it's just not going to choose to count it. Does that make sense?
Okay, got it.
and let's see what happens. Like, and all I'm doing is I'm just slowly introducing, just like how I did, just like you know all these list methods. Look to the left. We just add one of the lists. We used add. We went through get. You get an index value. We went through size. It gives you the size, which would be 4, right? And we went through remove, which I think you pass in an index value and it removes. Same thing. It's just little variations of it. All I'm doing is adding on to your tool set. That's it. Nothing else, right? So add, remove, and the only reason I added remove is I'm trying to actually find out. I was actually just before Ish and Berman's answer, I was like, all right, wait, does this remove 1 3 or? But then I remembered, though, it's a set, so it's just gonna remove. No, since this is a set, this never had 4 3s, right? So even if I were to add, and I'll prove it to you just now. So even if I were to add 3s, because it's a set and that only it rules out duplicates, it only
Is
ever had
that
2 and 3.
removing the number 3, or is that removing the fourth thing on the
Not the
set?
element. Yes, small distinctions like that. It's tracking the number 3, right? So again, a slight difference from the list, right? That's why you're confused.
Okay, wait, repeat that. So set dot remove that you put in a number, it removes that specific number,
That
not
specific
that
number,
the
yeah.
text of that, like that
Yeah, exactly.
as list. If you put list dot remove 3, it would remove the third.
Well, let's see. Let's see it. Let's see it in action, just so you guys can see. I know it's confusing at first, but see, and it's always slight variation. Look at what they call this parameter. They call it index, right? And we know index as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? But let's see what they call remove here. Right? Small little like details like that. Object versus, I mean, right here. Oh, they don't specify it as an index, so that should clue you off right away. It doesn't behave like an index, right? Even though they could call it anything they want, they call it an object. Oh, right? So little things like that you got to keep track of, but you'll get the hang of it. So again, remove index, and as a refresher, what did it remove? Or let's say like this. I'm asking you guys.
Oh, it would remove the 2.
Right. And just to prove it. Right? Remove the 2 and it printed out the 54. That's just how it behaves. That's just how, what you got to get used to. That's why you're getting confused, but that's just, just like a list is a list, a set is its own thing, right? Even though it has very similar, that's why I picked this data structure specifically, right? It's confusing. I get it, right? Add, remove, remove as behaves differently, but because it belongs to a set, it just has its own way of behaving, right? That's it. Nothing else. All right. So I said before, I removed the 3, and I just wanted to prove to you guys that this never had 4 3s. So how I'm gonna show it to you. Right here.
Is it gonna be 1?
Well, right now, one at a time. Hang on. Let me do this. So what do you think is gonna happen for this?
That's gonna be 2.
Right. Okay. How about what's gonna happen here?
It's gonna be 1.
1, right?
Yeah.
Because there you go. It's just little things like that. All you have to do is experiment, like type a few methods out, see what the result is, and boom. You don't need to know about all the inner mechanisms, and that is important because you don't need to use any of that. Okay. Let me see. So we just went add, clear. Main things we went over: add, remove, and size. But I'll just for fun, I'll show you guys what clear and is empty does. What do you think is going to print?
Probably 0,
Why?
because it's clearing out the set. I don't know. I'm not
No,
sure.
yeah, that's it. Right, 0. It's just, you got to use context clues. They make it very English oriented just to, clue you in, and that's spot on. That's exactly what it did. Let's see. Clear is empty. You could pretty much guess that. I mean, you could guess it, right? It's not going to be, this is not empty, right? So if I put is empty here, it's going to give a false value, right? So we don't even need to go over that, I think. All right. This is kind of another thing that you just got to kind of accept. So there's no clear way to iterate over this. What I mean by that, you'll see. But the great thing about lists, or how the original developers intended is you get the size, right? You could put that in a for loop, and then you could just get one by one each value, right? And then you could print out the value. That doesn't really work that way. Like let me prove it. Well, let me look. So you got your add method, and let me know if anything comes out at you, because there was no direct way to iterate over it. You'll see the iterator, and this is what we'll use. But other than that, see if you see like a get or anything. Nothing, right? Nothing that refers to get. And we remember get as the method we used in a list to get each individual item, but there's just nothing. There's no get function here, so you can't get it that way. So now we go to our next structure. So 2 out of 3. Right? After this, we have one more, and then we're good, right? And after that, it's just going to be problems and nothing else. And that's how you guys will really kind of get the hang of it. All right.
All right.
So iterator is just like, think of it as a companion class to set. That it helps you actually iterate over it, right? And set think of this as a way for a set to transition into an iterator, right? So far, I don't want you to think of an iterator as anything different from what you've learned already. There's a set, there's a list, and there's an iterator, right? So only difference is how we're creating this iterator, right? So this is something you haven't seen before, but this works right here. Let me just import java.util. Remember, anytime you import is java.util. Don't look at the rest, because people use the same classes for different reasons, but we're only interested in java.util. And just like this, we're gonna use integer right here, just to specify that this is not a string, because we've iterated over strings before, etc. But specifically, we were iterating over an integer, right? So set that iterator, right? So now we're dealing with an iterator from this set, right? Forget everything above. Let's just look at these two. All right. So the two main methods you have to remember and let me put the set methods here. Well, you got them right here. So just focus here. All right. Right, is has next and next. All right. And again, I want you guys to learn this through like just context clues. So let's say you kind of get how the while loop works, right? So just a brief reintroduction, because I know you're always used to the for loop. So int I equals 5, and this is not related. So while I is less, well, y is while I is greater than 0. What's gonna happen if I run this?
It's gonna loop infinitely.
No, 5 times.
Oh no, wait, you put the decrement thing. So yeah, 5 times.
Okay. All right, just a quick review of what the while loop does.
I see the decrement thing.
Yeah, it's right here. Just think of this as a decrement. Okay. So now that you remembered how that worked, use context clues. So let me take this out. And like I said, the only 2 iterator methods you need is this. Just look at it carefully and take your time. What do you think this does? So let me space it out for you. Only real 3 lines to really keep track of, right? And this is the only set. Obviously, it relates to the iterator. What do you think each refers to, or what does each do? Or just tell me what the output is. Just think of the logic for yourself, and what do you think the output does?
Is this
Remember, all the iterator does, it just lets you loop over a set. A set, we're just using an iterator because the set doesn't have a native function, native way to go over it. Don't think of this as anything crazy, right? Just look at what the methods it has. Only 2. And I'll tell you, the has next and next, their only, oh my bad. Their only purpose is to iterate through the loop. So with that kind of hint, what do you think this is doing? Or just give me the output.
it'll spit out the set like 2, 3, 3, 3, 3?
Well, tell me exactly the output. I'll take each of your guys' answers before I run it. So, Berm, you're saying 2, 3, 3, 3?
Yeah.
Okay. Fa?
I'm still thinking. Hold on.
Okay, no, take your time. Ish, you think you got the answer?
Yeah.
I think it's just 2 and 3.
Okay. Ish, what's your answer?
It's going. Well, did you want me to explain it line by line?
No. First, give me your output, and then we run it, and then we see what went wrong or right.
I think it's just gonna print 3.
It's just gonna be 3, you said?
Yeah.
Just 3?
Yeah, because you did while iterator dot has next. Then you made temp in equal iterator dot next.
Okay.
So then, I mean, doesn't it start at
Well,
the
let me
0
just
index?
write
So-
all your guys' responses so I can keep track of it. So Berm says 2, 3, 3, 3, 3. Fa says 2, 3. Ish says 3. Is that all right? Just so I have it clear.
Yeah.
All right. So Fa got it. Fa, you want to explain your logic?
Well, I can't really explain it because I've never seen these, but I just assume like
No, your assumption, you see, don't underestimate your assumption because it's most likely right. Because the developers wrote this in a way where it should read like English. So usually that, inclination you have, it's most likely very right? Ish and Berm likely overthought it, but this is clear English. So explain your logic and start from line 35.
35. So yeah, we have like obviously the set, the hash set, whatever.
Yeah.
And we learned that it doesn't accept duplicates.
Right. So that
So
Berm got wrong right
reality,
away.
the list
Right.
or whatever
Berm
the
was
set is
wrong right
called.
here, so he couldn't even go from there because set is just right away. You just got to accept that. You just receive duplicates. So at this line 40, like Fa said, just 2 and 3 in it. Go ahead.
Yeah. So and then you created this iterator thing. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but
That's fine.
and then you ran it through a while loop, and I just assumed like it went through whatever's in those set, and it put it in the temp in, and the only thing that it could put in is like those 2 numbers. And
Right.
That's what.
Right. And Ish kind of probably thought a little too much into it. So let's see where Ish would have been right. So in that case, it does print 3. So how the iterator works is, remember, like I kind of wanted you to like think this through because I told you the main purpose of has next and next is to both of them should kind of like like they should work in harmony. Like they can't work really by themselves, and I'll show you why. Because of that very reason. Like this is dependent in that soon as you run next, it's over to the next value, 3, right? So if I wanted to iterate over the list, I couldn't because it didn't print out the 2. I ran it too early, and there's no way, and I can tell you that now, an iterator could go back. That's just how it's built out. right? So as soon as I run next, all right, then Ish's answer is right. But my main goal is to get all those values out, right? So let me run one more time. 2 and 3, this is what I want, right? So it works very mutualistically. Like this has next, it returns a Boolean value. Has next, of course it has next because you hadn't iterate over it, you didn't use the next function, right? So has next because it's saying that, okay, 2 is next, so at least it says, all right, 2 is next, it'll lock that up in temp int, right? And then when it's done with 2, it moves on to 3. Remember, these other 3s don't count, it's a set, this was ruled out here. So 3 is there, and since you ran next once, it sees the 3, so this is another true value, right? Has next. And then next is the 3, prints it out, and then it goes back. Has next. Is there anything after 3?
No.
No, right? Because we settled it right here that this hash set, it rules out all the duplicates, right? So just little things like that. Just the little quirks of the classes. Go ahead.
What comes out when you put system.out.println set? What if you just print the set? So then you have the same.
Where specifically tell me how you want me to run it.
So okay, under that, make another line under
Right
this.
here?
System.out.println parentheses set. Oh, I'm sorry, not set. What is this set called? I guess it's called set.
This one right here? You want me to print this?
Yeah. What does that give you?
Okay, let me see. Let me think it over before I run it. Okay, anyone want to take a guess? That was a good question, actually. Or do you want me to, well, let me know if you don't want me to run it this way, but do you want me to just take this out and do it this way? Or would you rather, do you want to see it in the for loop? Berm. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Berm, did you get my question? I think you're on mute. Ish, you guys can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you. Oh, sorry. Wait, you're asking me?
No, I'm asking Berm. Do you want me to run it this way?
What was the question?
I was asking me, is this how you wanted me to run it? Just to see what, like this? What do you think what do you think this is gonna print?
I thought it would print the same thing, 2, 3.
Yeah. No difference. 2, 3.
Yeah,
it's just this is how it's just structure.
Iterator then.
So okay, no, I'm glad you just keep asking me this until you hammer this point. So we went over that by itself. Don't even ask me the reason why. But there's this structure for each, but this is kind of goes into lambda expressions, which I don't really want to cover because that's higher level Java. And this is basically the native way for a set to iterate over. But right now we're just dealing with classes, and I don't want to use this way because this looks really different. So ignoring this, there's no other native way to get the individual elements one by one. You get what I'm saying? Like if I wanted to, for instance, let's say so you did print out the whole set, right? 2 and 3. And if I were to add more, let's do that. Let's stop here. So let's say I did want to add, let's say, well, let me print that. So you got 2, 1234, 3. I'm not really sure why it's ordered that way. I'm sure there's a good reason for that. But say I wanted to add 2 to each number, how would I do that? There's no way to get each element, you see? I don't see really a native way to get each element. So I can't extract the 2, add 2 to it, and print that out. Like I would be able to do with the list. There's just no way. Other than for each, but we're not going to cover that, right? So for now, we're just going to deal with iterator, right? So with iterator, let's use that as the next problem. So let's keep that added value we put. Let me take that out. All right, so let's say my new objective was to add let me think. You might have to replace. Give me a second. No, let's keep it simple. Let's say for every integer you wanted to add 2 to it and print it. How would I do that? So for every integer in this set, I wanted to add 2 to it and print it. Anyone could shout it out.
Say that again.
So I just want to iterate over the set, and for every number, I just want to add 2 to it and print that number out.
Every number you want to add 2 to it.
Just add 2 to it. So 2 plus 2 is 4, 3 plus 2 is 5. This is whatever this is. 1236.
So that will print out to 1236. Can you? So temp int. Can you do in the parentheses? Can you put temp int plus 2?
Yeah, that's it. It's not a trick question. So temp int plus 2. Right. And that would print it out. I don't even want to go over that because that's the actual answer. So what I actually would rather do. This is a tricky question. Not tricky because it's hard, but tricky because you guys haven't used it yet. So, actually, we did kind of use it. We briefly used it. So, using this exact format, and let me actually take all this out. Say using the iterator, what I want you to do is, if the iterator hits the number 3, I want you to replace it with 5. And I want you guys to copy paste this into your, wherever you want to, and just do it yourself. So let me just copy paste this for you into Teams. All right. So just go to Eclipse, clear everything, create a new method. Copy paste this. Once you do that, you'll see red lines because you didn't import the libraries yet, and just import them and try to figure that out. So basically all you do is if the iterator hits 3, I want that set to the new set that would come out after the iterate runs over it to have, instead of 2 3 1234, 2 5 1234. So that should be the output.
Wait, so what's the question?
Let me type it out. All right, so let's say what I want you to do, I'm going to copy paste this. Hang on.
Yeah, copy and paste isn't working for me.
Hang on. If it's easier, we'll use smaller numbers. Don't worry. Actually, let me cut all this out. Set problem 1. All right. What did I say? Set of integers. Let's go to a very simple set. Set of numbers equals new hash set of numbers dot add 1, set of numbers dot add 2, set of numbers dot add 3. I'll have this right here, so in case you forget, remember this is all we use, the iterators, right? And remember, hash set itself had an iterator method, and I'll slowly fill it in as we go on, but I do want you guys to at least try it. Iterator, right? So what I'm saying is, right now, if I were to do this, right now, if I were to run this, it's gonna print what? 1 2 3, like this, right? What I want you guys to do is, instead of me printing a set of numbers at the end, right? So it should be in this exact same format, set of numbers. Instead of this 1, 2, 3, I just want it to print 1, 5, 3. That's it, nothing else. And the logic will go in between here. So everything you know of iterators so far, set so far, would go down here. So try your best.
So what are we doing again? Like to the numbers, to the set?
Right,
I mean,
right, right,
like we're
yeah. Don't worry about asking questions. I'm gonna clarify it as much as you want, right? So right now the set only has 1, 2, and 3, right?
yeah.
Print line. So all I want is whatever you're gonna do here, right? Whatever you're doing before this and after this, right here in the body. If I print this again, it should say 1, 5, 3. That's it. So essentially, you're just replacing the 2 with the 5. That's it.
1, 5, 3.
Yeah.
And we can only use the things on the left, right?
Using only a set, right, and an iterator. So you can't use lists or anything like that. So just give some time and look over. I'll even remove the irrelevant ones. No, I'll keep them, but let me highlight the important ones, or I'll bold them, or underline them. That looks better. All right, that should be all you need. I'll even take out add because I already added, so you won't. No, will you? No, you'll need add. Yep. So I don't care about order or anything like that. And I'll type the iterator thing here because I know it looks very strange at first, and then just to remind you guys how to get that iterator.
We're replacing 2, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So someone's got their mechanical keyboard up.
Oh, that's not bad. Oh,
No, I'm
we're
kidding. Someone's making bad noise.
Oh, my bad.
That's right.
So
I like the
we
enthusiasm.
gotta import iterator hash set and set, right?
Yeah. And I'll slowly fill my solution in just to kind of edge you guys along. Ish, you got it?
I'm working on.
Okay. No, just take your time. I'm just curious. This is tricky. Definitely at first, so take your time. You guys still want to keep trying, or?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Fi, you want to keep trying?
Oh yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, no, I can't figure it out.
That's fine, that's fine. Anyone else? This is tough. Ish, Fa. I'll tell you what I have right now. I just need 2 more lines and that would resolve it.
Can I do something like if temp num equals 2?
Yeah.
Can I do like
Remember,
add and remove
as a
something?
hint, I only care about this, right? So set of numbers, remember, it only refers to this. Iterator could do whatever the hell, right? I mean, mainly using this as a utility class to iterate over. Well, go ahead. What were you saying?
Can you add and remove? Like
You're very
remove
close.
2 and add 5?
You're very close. How do you want me to do it?
If temp num equals 2, yeah, that's the problem. Confused.
No, you're extremely close, and that's what I'm telling you. So pursue that thought. What do add and remove? What class did that belong to? Add and remove.
that belongs to a hash set.
Yeah, a hash set. It belongs to a hash set, right? And the only hash set in this problem is set of numbers. So how do you want me to do it?
So if temp num equals 2, then we do set of numbers dot remove. So it's gonna be the second position. So 1. Actually,
Remember,
for hash set,
Yep.
you have to specify the actual number. So
Yep.
2,
Okay.
and then after that, set of numbers dot add. How do I know it's gonna add it like?
Remember,
Well, the
I
two was not
briefly
after three.
mentioned I don't care about position.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. So add 5.
That's it. I got it. Do you guys see what he did?
Yeah. Yeah.
What the fuck?
I'm still getting an error though. Yeah, I'm getting the same error.
Let me see what happened. This is the line of thought I want you guys to think of, but let me see what happened.
Yeah, I didn't do it because like I didn't know like how to put the 5 in between, so I was a little confused. So.
No, I don't care about the order. But let me see. This is some Java. All right, don't worry about that. I'm gonna see why it aired out, but if I got it right, this is the line of thinking I want you guys to have. I'm gonna see why this didn't work, but I don't want to overfill you guys with too much. So good job. This is where we'll cut off. Tomorrow we just have hash map, which is again really simple on the surface, but it's when you get to the problems that are difficult. But unless you guys have any questions, let's end it here. You guys good to go?
Yeah, hold on. Let me just. I want to try something.
All right.
Okay, I thought I could fix it, but
No, this has something to do with something else. But yeah, you guys good?
yeah.
All right. We'll keep going tomorrow then. All right, good shit.
Okay.
Later.
All right.